Y'all better pay these women. Y'all better pay these women.
Last month, the Supreme Court ruled that Roe v. Wade was overturned, declaring that the constitutional right to abort no longer exists. And I can just remember guys in the manosphere, guys in the red pill, making many videos about Roe v. Wade decision overturned, and was a big celebration, especially in the red pill circles. But now we gotta really understand that the victory for those in the pro-life community was going to be met, what I would say, something equally as controversial. Let's talk about Senator Marco Rubio. Now, him and other Republicans that we'll talk about a little bit later, they're introducing a bill to start child support payments at conception. Now, that's a tricky thing. I'm not going to get into abortion rights and stuff like that because YouTube is really particular about these videos. But pretty much, there's always a debate in the abortion community of when does life begin? When does it start? And if you're a pro-lifer, you're most likely going to assume that the life begins when the child is in the mother's womb. So for those who are, like I said, rolling with this, the other side's going to say, listen, if child support is going to be, installed, it needs to be installed once life begins. And that means it needs to occur prenatally. Now, here's the situation that's going on right now. With the Republicans pushing this bill, the Unborn Child Support Act, which has come a month later after the Roe v. Wade decision. Well, they don't really have a dog in the fight, right? Because they're already saying that life begins prenatally. Well, then, so does child support. And I know for you guys who want to know a little bit more about the Unborn Child Support Act, let's watch this video to get somewhat of a definition of what it is, and then we'll come right back.
Yesterday, pro-life senators filed a bill that seeks to provide more resources to mothers during pregnancy. The Unborn Child Support Act would amend the Social Security Act to extend mandatory child support to include pregnancy, allowing mothers to receive payments from absentee fathers from the moment of conception. Senator Kevin Cramer said the bill is an outgrowth of pro-life values. Here's the senator.
If you are, as I am, pro-life, if you believe, as I do, that life should be protected, then you also ought to, that same compassion should extend to the mother of the child. And that carries with it all kinds of possibilities. But the one possibility I think that a lot of people hadn't considered was that the father at that point would also have some obligations.
So guys, you heard the senator there. And he's pretty much saying that, yeah, fathers are going to be liable once a woman is pregnant. The only problem, Senator, is, well, how do we know that this is the father? Now, you guys know I am not an attorney and I'm not a family law attorney, but I do have a colleague here on YouTube who is. His name is the lead attorney. And he did a pretty great stream on the matter. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to reference what the name of the stream was. Men Should Pay Pregnant Women the Unborn Child Support Act. And I want to kind of focus on who this is going to affect and possibly how you need to deal with your other personal things in your life to get ready for such changes.
Because there are like 9 people pushing this bill forward on one side of the legislature and then like 13 on the other side. 100% of the people that are pushing this bill forward are Republicans. 100%. Mark Rubio doesn't care about you either. Because this is going to affect more poor white men than anybody else. Just on the numbers, y'all don't know how many poor white men are getting fucked over by child support. Y'all have no idea. It's millions. Millions. Now, you can say it affects us disproportionately, and you got to be right on that. But in terms of true numbers, Black people don't understand poor white people, because rich white people screw the poor white people. I mean, in the ass. All these poor white Republicans running around screaming about Trump and Marco Rubio and what they're doing down in Florida. And look what they're doing to them. Now you have to pay the extra $500 a month for a baby that's not even born. How about for a baby that's not even yours? Not even yours. The woman can just say it's yours. We're going to go over this bill.
So guys, listening to the lead attorney really brings home something very imperative. Now, I know that many of us like to bridge ourselves within the, let's say, white or Black class, or by race. Some of us do it by religion, but many of us do it by socioeconomic class. There is the working class, the so-called middle class, the so-called upper middle class, and then you have your elites or capital class. Now, let me kind of talk about these Republicans that have introduced this bill. I talked about Marco Rubio, but people like Senator Kevin Cramer, people like him, Rick Scott, all right, Marsha Blackburn, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Roger Wicker. These are elite people, many of them elite men who are in the capitalist class, who will never have to worry about child support. Who is child support going to affect? Well, number one, the working class white man. Yes, as we've heard the lead attorney said, this is the person that's going to be affected. The Republican white man, the Democratic white man. And then obviously, as we know, the Black man is next up. So how do you try to protect yourself against things like this? This is going to be controversial. I think that the answer is become extremely rich, right? I mean, that sounds crazy and it sounds ludicrous, but there lies the answer. Because these laws are being made for people that the country feels will fail. All right? Now think about it. You might not even be the father of a child, and the woman can come out and say, hey, yeah, this guy is the father of my kid, and you're paying the child support prenatally, and then let's say you were not there and you're absent, and then she can get you for like 9 months back child support, only to find out that you're not the father, and she can say, oops. And again, this is a dumbass bill, but you get what I'm saying, right? The reality is, this is who it's gauged at. This is what we need to kind of understand how to defeat these things. Who are they targeting here? Now, I know that me saying like being rich and being successful, because they can also get on child support too, it can happen. But it might be a little bit less likely, right? Because you don't want to be the target of what these things are going to come out to. Now, let's talk about Republicans, the left and the right. Guys, the more that he's telling me this, I'm starting to believe all of this is socioeconomic class. Okay? The guys on the far left and the guys on the far right, many times, are actually friends. I mean, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump used to criticize Republicans for many years until he became one and became the president. This is about being rich or poor. Okay? That's what this is about. And whether you're Black, whether you're white, this is not even about color anymore. It's not about race. I only mention white men because they're the majority of the population. But this is about socioeconomic class and status. And if Black men, if you've ever thought about being a voting bloc, if you've ever thought about seeking these things, this is why you need to get active in politics now. Politics, spending money on campaigns, it really makes a difference. Otherwise, things like this can happen. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Subscribe at the bell. Check out my boy, the lead attorney, at the first come to the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.